What up? What up? Salute, salute, salute. Peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Salute. I love my people. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's going on? Saturday night book club, Saturday night book club, Saturday night book club. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. How you do, how you do, how you do. Yeah, I know. It's All-Star weekend. Yeah, I know. It's almost time for the slam dunk, but you won't be catching that tonight. You better catch the replays tomorrow or something. You ain't catching it tonight, Jack. Saturday night book club, and I just couldn't get on early. Couldn't get on early. There's no way, no way, no way I was able to get on early. I had to cook, wash dishes, you know, make sure everybody in the house was taken care of, and just couldn't get to it. I had to run to the store and all that, you know. Hey T, what's going on? Salute, Mr. Farmer. So yeah, I had to make homemade chicken soup tonight. I just couldn't get it right. All right, hey, that's what's good. Salute, salute. Yeah, I couldn't get it right. So when you come in, share the video, boom, hit the Liz Nikes. Hey, Alicia and Dre Smith. What up, what up, what up, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? What's goody? Where we at with it? Saturday night. As I was saying, just couldn't move as early as I wanted to today. Had a lot of things going on, but I'm here. We're here. And y'all know it's Saturday Night Book Club. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we do on Saturday night. Peace and power, Miranda. Oh, y'all know what we do Saturday night. Book Club time. Peace and power. But before I get started, and I have to give the best and the most heartfelt shout out to all my comrades, all my moderators, um, the family of Karim Bliz Johnson. YouTube is just all that, all that. Um, and because the message resonates so well with you and the information that you send back to me, you know, I'm able to not only remain disciplined, but consistently sharp in my delivery, and now it's being felt. Even though, like I said, the numbers don't reflect it, we still got 4.5 thousand. We just a little blip. Need sessions? Okay, inbox me. On my IG, inbox me, and we'll set that up. Yeah, now it's resonating. Kelly Mills, what up? What up, Kelly? What's good? Yeah, it's resonating, and as y'all see, um, again, we have no idea how that snippet ended up on a platform as large as Trevor Noah's, but we can only attribute that to what you all continuously do with our engagement. That's why we ask for it so much. The engagement is so important. how you engage, how you comment, how you share the videos, the likes, the screen recording, breaking it up, throwing it on TikTok, tagging it. That is, you know, the basic. That is the simple way to contribute, to donate, to show love and appreciation. Just that alone. And this, I'm telling you, look, 4.5K, where you have people that have 1 million subscribers. You have people that have more than 1 million subscribers. The average on YouTube, I mean the average is 50, 60,000 for somebody who puts in as much work as I do, right? But look where I'm at. And with all that, that heavy subscription base, they aren't able to get recognized on platforms that large and by people with that much intelligence, right? And sits on the same levels and spectrums, or on the same side of equity as we do. Somebody like that decided that that clip was and I didn't even say nothing. That wasn't even the clip where I spoke. Imagine if they snatched something that I was vocal on. Oh boy, you know. But again, that just goes to show you, in our small tribe, it resonates. You know, I mean, that's a push. They like, yo, who are they? You know, who are they? So again, you all keep doing what you're doing. You know, because as grand and as significant and as big as that was, too many and for many, my ass was still doing dishes today, you know. So it is what it is. I still had to cook dinner for the family. I still had to take out the garbage. I still went to the store. And I'm still here. Saturday night, doing what we do, educating each other, loving each other, remaining militant, making sure that we have eyes on total and absolute liberation for our people. You order Domino's, you ain't offer me none. You ain't tell me to come and, you know, get a slice. You know, I could have scooted out to Jersey and got a little bit of some Domino's. You know? CC, salute. What's good? How you doing, CC? What's going on? Salute. Oh my goodness. Yes. You know? Yeah, see? Tell her, Kelly, see? Yeah, slicey slice. You know, me no slicey slice. She probably got the artisan and all that. You know what I'm saying? With the feta and all that. Come on now. Ah, Ms. Harris was good. Domino's is death for guilty pleasure, huh? Look, hell yeah. Once in a blue. You know, once in a blue. Definitely, Mr. Farmer. Salute. No doubt, comrade. No doubt. Yeah, it's a good look. I'm extremely proud of my comrade, because, like I said, he puts in a lot of work. He's definitely deserving of it. And as you can see, in personal struggle and our day-to-day lives, there's no telling, you know, what's going to happen within the next 6 hours within the next half day and day, it just get critical. So for people to remain in this space and committed in this work, it takes a lot. Yup. Yeah, that's right. She ain't give me no slicey in the spotty spot. She just said, yo, let me order. Let me order some Domino's for Dolo. You know? Yeah. Yeah. I had to cook chicken soup. That's what they wanted today. They wanted me to make chicken soup. So I made them chicken soup. And then I had to do the dishes and everything. You know? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and T has been y'all don't know how me and a few of the moderators get down. Sometimes we be back and forth all day, every day. And T keeps me engaged and on my toes, man. She finds all these articles on the side and we build back and forth, and that's the beauty of a true book club. It's not about people taking the text and just reading it and coming back. Nah, we read this together, we grow together, you know. We are able to give each other different understandings and, points of view. It's great. And I'm telling you, when the tribe is getting thicker and thicker, we'll appreciate, those moments when we were able to, just keep to ourselves. But, it's getting ready to get out of hand. It's getting ready to get real crazy. When I tell you that, once that message start resonating and people start figuring out, like, oh, yeah, they the ones right there. We gonna have to start closing off, being real selective about who we allow up in our little club here in our space. All right. So look, it's late. I want to get right to it. Do what I do. Again, I appreciate y'all for coming through. I do appreciate y'all for always coming through and listening. Uh-oh. Sade's up in the spotty spot. Salute from the Lone Star State. Was goody. And one of our moderators, what up, Brooklyn? One of our moderators won't be in tonight because she took herself to the New Edition concert. So we'll have to deal with her some other time, Yeah, we in the spotty spot. She done took herself to see Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Yeah, ain't that some stuff? She done got her some tickets, you know? He's like this, oh, yeah. Old proud girl from Boston. Yeah, she done slid up out of here. She done cut class tonight. Get shot. Yeah, she done cut class tonight. She done slid on up out of here. Yeah, put her shades on. She done dipped out. Peace. What up, King Hazy? What up? Salute, Lord. How you doing? Yeah, they from Boston. Yeah. They from me. So you know what that is. And she got them tickets. She ran up out of here. She's like, I ain't going to class tonight. That's all right. We know what she got coming. Oh, yeah. So let's get started. As always, we still on the SADA. We still on the SADA. And yo, somebody asked me like, yo, y'all on the same book? I said, yeah, we on the same book. This not no rinky-dink book club. You know? Rufus ain't there. I ain't see Rufus in the pictures. I mean, she can ready go act up tonight because Rufus ain't nowhere around. No, Chris. Rufus ain't nowhere around. She about to paint the town. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. We want her to enjoy herself and get back to us safely. You know, someone, it ain't Rufus, but somebody is standing in the rain. You know? T says she done reading it. There you go, T. That's what's up. That's what's up. So we on chapter 6, y'all. Right? She already got a new lawyer. We know that. Right? Her and Evelyn had a little falling out. So now we on chapter 6. And what is it? I guess it's page 99. Listen, we doing our thing. When I tell you we doing our thing, we doing our thing. Almost halfway through. Right? So let us begin. And as people come in, moderators, y'all know what to do. Keep everything in there, all the information, all the social media pages, all the Cash App info, and make sure they sharing and liking and engaging in the conversation. All right? Let's get it. My mother and stepfather broke up, and my mother, my sister, and I moved to a new apartment in a housing complex in South Jamaica near New York Boulevard and Foch. One side was the projects and the other side was the co-op where we lived. But they looked like the same to me. So T, salute, Hannah, what's good? So T, when you come to New York and you want to see the building she talking about, let me know. I'll breeze you right through there because I know you. You one of those type of students where you want to see and feel the energy. All right, so I'll take you over there. You know, it's not far from East New York. All right. Compared to Jamaica, Parsons Gardens, where we had lived, was a little black dot. South Jamaica, Hollis, Bricktown, St. Albans, Springfield Gardens, South Ozone, etc. were all joined together to make up a black city. You could live your whole life in Jamaica, and the only time you see a white face was when you shopped on Jamaica Ave or when the insurance man came around. At one time, Jamaica was all white. Black people had moved out to the island to escape the ghettos of Harlem and Brooklyn. They bought old houses at exorbitant prices, only to find that within a few years, their nice neighborhood has turned into the crime-ridden, drug-ridden, poverty-stricken places they had run from. And if you don't have a history of the five boroughs and really don't know how New York City is broken up, you would not understand much of that paragraph, because for people that come from or have family in Brooklyn and Harlem and the Bronx, you would know that it's mostly projects in those areas, or specifically areas where we reside in. A lot of projects and the residential homes are still, they are attached. Once you go to Queens, especially Jamaica, going out towards Long Island, You have homes that are not attached. Uh, you know, a little patch of a front yard, maybe a backyard. So, people in Brooklyn and Harlem and Bronx always look at Queens, that's what, it's soft because they had a little bit of nature. They had, things that we didn't have in Brooklyn. They weren't on top of each other. But when you travel out there and you get out into the hood and into the blocks, you'll realize just how gangster, just how hard a lot of them spots in Queens are. Because it's not all peaches and cream over there. I'm telling you, they get gut. That's how come you have uh, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and, other, hard or more urban and street sounding artists coming from Queens, especially Jamaica. You got that's the same side, not only 50, but Ja Rule, Lost Boys, all that little area right there. Going from really, you could take it from Hollis and come all the way through around. Um, and if you go further out, that's when you start getting to your Rockaways, and then if you stand further out, then you get to LI. But you know, um, it's you will get tossed up in Queens if you're not knowledgeable. You don't know. You know, you sleep if you want to. Sleep if you want to. I know for a fact. I done ran around out there. Of course. Half pistol will travel, goddamn. I go through the whole 5 boroughs and Westchester County. Met a lot of good dudes. Put in a lot of work. So, that's what she's saying when, you know, when she's giving this descriptive in this paragraph. I love Jamaica, and I was just starting to get into the beat of it and to know my way around when my mother and I had one of our terrible arguments. I don't even remember what the argument was about, but I was hard-headed, stubborn, and under the impression that a grave injustice had been done to me. The next day I got up, packed my clothes, and headed straight for the village. Greenwich Village was where artists and musicians and all kinds of weird people were supposed to live. I was fascinated by the idea of beatniks and bohemians, even though I had never met any. I figured that if I belonged any place, it must be the village. I walked around with my suitcase until I was exhausted. I remember thinking that people here didn't look that different from anybody else. I found a place to check my suitcase and spent the rest of the day going around door to door asking people if they had any jobs available. Most didn't even look up at me. They just gave a flat no. At the end of the day, I was tired, disgusted, and hungry. I had nowhere to live and not the slightest idea what I was going to do next. I went back for my suitcase, but the place was closed. After that, I just walked aimlessly until I reached a little park. I sat down on a bench, tired as hell, and unable to take another step. After a while, a little white guy with bumps on his face sat down next to me and started talking. I didn't understand half the things he said, but he seemed nice enough. When he asked me if I wanted to go to a restaurant across the street with him, I gladly accepted. I was starving. It was an Italian restaurant and the scent in the air was heavenly. I ordered enough to feed a mule. That guy talked about all these people I didn't know and about his job. He kept saying people on his job were conspiring to get him fired. I worked there for 8 years. They didn't even give me any notice. He told me over and over that the company he had worked for had stolen two of his inventions and patented them, and that when he tried to get paid for them and to get credit for his ideas, the company tried to get rid of him. What did they do, I asked. They did everything. They stole my files and my papers and then spread rumors about me. He said he was some kind of engineer. I should never have trusted them, he kept saying. You can't trust anybody. When the food came, I ate like I had spent a lifetime starving. Doesn't this food taste funny to you, the guy asked. I tasted some more, and it was good. There's nothing wrong with mine, I told him. There's something wrong with this food, he said loudly. What did they do to my food? The waiter came and tried to calm the guy down. I don't understand, the waiter said, but if you like, I'll bring you another plate. Although the guy said it was better, he still thought it tasted a little funny. To change the subject, I told him a sad story about my mother being in the hospital and that I had nowhere to stay. Oh, you can stay at my place, he said. Then, seeing how I was looking at him, he added, I have an extra bed. No funny business. No funny business, he promised. He said, excuse me, he paid the check and we left. His apartment was a tiny, I hear that right? Hold up. Are you almost at 5K, Bliz? Oh, hey. Well, 4.5 ain't almost, but hey, we'll get it right. All right? His apartment was a tiny one-bedroom unit with a dirty kitchen and a green, moldy-looking rug. The living room was neat and sterile. There was a plain brown couch that turned into a bed. I asked him for something to sleep in and plopped down into the bed. He kept talking, but I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. After a while, he went into his bedroom and shut off the lights. I woke up during the night to go to the bathroom, stumbling around, disoriented, until I finally found it. When I came out of the bathroom, I went into the kitchen for some water. While I was there, the guy came in. His face was all puffed up and red. What are you looking for? Some water. Oh, no, you're not, he screeched. You've been creeping around this house looking for something. What? I asked. You're crazy. Oh, no, my dear. That's what they want me to think. I'm not crazy in the least. What were you looking for? Who sent you? You didn't find anything, did you? Well, you can tell them I haven't invented anything else for them to steal. I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody sent me no place, and I wasn't looking for anything. Oh, no? You were just going for a little moonlight stroll. Do you think I'm some kind of fool? I took you in off the street, out of kindness, and here you try and deceive me. They really fooled me this time. I never thought they sent a nigger spy. Your mama's a nigger, I told him, and you're a crazy son of a bitch. I threw on my clothes as I cursed him out. Spy, spy, he kept saying. Your mother is a spy, and you can drop dead as far as I'm concerned. I slammed the door and walked out into the early morning. The sun was beginning to come up. I walked until I found the drugstore open and ordered tea and an English muffin. I bought a toothbrush, toothpaste, and some makeup so that I would look older. I was going to get a job if it killed me. I got my suitcase, found a bathroom to wash up in, changed clothes, and checked the suitcase again. I bought a couple of newspapers. This time, I was going to be systematic about it. I saw an ad for a waitress and counter girl. That was something I knew I could do. The place was downtown Brooklyn. I hopped on the first train in that direction, and I got there about 8 8:30 in the morning. Hold on, yo. Hold on. The cafeteria was a factory building and was solely for the factory workers. The manager had black and white hair and was a big, fat, and sloppy. He wasn't so anxious to hire me at first, so I told him a sob story about coming from down south to help my mother, who was in a hospital, and that I needed a job as soon as possible. Finally, after looking me up and down, he hired me and said I could start right then and there. I was grinning from ear to ear. Check that out. Check that out. Uh-oh, V Gibbs in the spotty spot. V Gibbs is in the spotty spot. What's good, V Gibbs? What's good, V Gibbs? Oh, Naima. Philly in the building. Curtis, what up, y'all? Oh, y'all all sneaking up on me, huh? Y'all was all watching that NBA game, huh? Yeah, yeah. I see you, Big E. Yeah, I know you was watching the game. Y'all gonna cut it out. It's Saturday Night Book Club. 218 days. 218 days sober for V. Gibson. Salute, salute, salute. 218. And what's today's date? Check that out. You almost to the day. 218, 219. You almost there. Huh? Huh? So you see how back then, how quick it was for you to get a job or work. She don't have no working papers, nothing. Runaway and she just get a job. You dig? Evolve, what up? You know, that's how it was back then. Like, you could find a gig and you could talk your talk, you'll get hired. You know, I remember we used to work messenger jobs. Oh, man, them little jobs was, what? We thought we was doing it. Learning the city, learning the subways, learning the cut-throughs in the subways, having mad tokens, keeping petty cash. Boy, we thought we was doing something. You make $100 a week. You thought you was balling. What? No, Big E said Wall Street. Hell no. I hated going to Wall Street. I always got lost. I still get lost down there to this day. I hate Wall Street. I hate delivering packages to Wall Street, Water Street, Wall Street, Broadway, John Street. I get all cut up, all up in those cannons. Man, I hated that. I hated that. Telling you, anywhere in Midtown, Soho, all that. Little did we know those stocks were worth millions. Yeah, well, we know because remember, some of us, like my brother-in-law, was working on the street since he got out of high school. So we used to have people in the mailroom, you know, and they used to snatch them envelopes, man. That's how dudes started getting into scamming and busting paper with them checks and all that, you know. Excuse me. My first messenger job was on 41st and 7th Ave. Yeah. Learn the subways, learn the difference between West Side, East Side, Uptown, Downtown, and you watching the bike messengers doing their thing. You know, the city was, that was it. That was it, you know. But as big and as vast as it is and different ways you could get a job or hustle and just fall into a different lifestyle, it's still dangerous too, because you run into creeps. Yup, to Wall Street, all that down there, you know. But you can make it in NYC. You can make it anywhere, you know. So let's keep it going. I was supposed to spend the morning making salads and sandwiches and other things for lunchtime. But around 10 o'clock, all these men started coming for coffee break. The manager had me running around like crazy, toasting bread, buttering buns, and getting the men their orders. Move faster, he kept telling me. Every time he told me to move faster, I tried until it seemed that it wasn't humanly possible for anyone to have moved faster. Then I noticed he was always brushing against me. His hands were always accidentally touching my behind. I'd move his hand away, but that only seemed to make him bolder. Every time I bent over to get something out of the freezer or off the food shelves, he would try to slide his hands up my dress. After a while, I began slapping his hands away. This too seemed to make him bolder. Finally, I told him in a nice, quiet voice, "Would you please keep your hands off me? Would you keep them to yourself?" "What are you talking about?" he said, acting surprised. "I ain't done nothing to you." As the day wore on, he accelerated his shouting at me. "Can't you move any faster?" he would yell. "Get that lead out of your ass." He stopped putting his hands on me for a while, but in about an hour, he was right back to his old tricks. He acted like it was some kind of joke or something. I didn't think it was funny, worth a damn. Lunchtime was super busy, and I was moving super fast. After lunch, we started getting ready for afternoon coffee break, and after that, we started getting ready for dinner. Dinner was from 4:30 to 6:30, and 7 was quitting time. When dinner time came, I was tired and miserable. I needed the job desperately, but the manager was driving me wild, putting his hands all over me. When I told him to stop, he would grin, throw his hands in the air, and say, "What am I doing? What am I doing?" Then he started a new trick. He'd pull the elastic of my panties through the uniform and let it pop like a rubber band. "Stop it," I yelled. "Just stop it." "Stop what? What am I doing?" By the time dinner was over, I knew I couldn't take it anymore. Bad as I needed the job, I couldn't take that big fat pig's hands all over me. Just before I was ready to go home, I told him, "Look, if you can't keep your hands to yourself, I'll quit. I can't take it anymore." "What do you mean you'll quit?" "You're fired. You got lead in your ass and you don't know how to treat your boss. Now get the hell out of here. Just give me my money and I will." "I ain't gonna give you shit," he said, "'cause you ain't did shit. Look, mister, you gonna pay me my money. I worked hard and I want my money. Come back at the end of the week." "No, I want my money now. I need it now." "You ain't getting nothing now, I told you. Come back at the end of the week." "No, you're giving me my money now. I want my money." "Well, you ain't getting it. I'll call the cops on you, I bluff. "I'll call the cops on you," he said, "if you don't get your ass out of here." "You better give me my money," I repeated, looking wild and about ready to jump out a real bag. Some people from the factory came in and stood at the back of the cafeteria looking. "Keep your voice down," he said, acting like he was going to cooperate and pay me. "I'll tell you what, you coming back with me now, and I'll pay you for an extra day. I'll even let you keep your job, and if you're good, I'll even give you a little extra change." "I'm not going any damn where with you. Just give me my money." "Now, why do you want to be like that?" he asked, putting his hands on my shoulder. I was hot and fit to be tied. I was hot and fit to be tied. "Get your hands off me," I yelled. "You don't want nobody to know what kind of a dog you are. Well, I'm going to tell everybody. If you don't give me my money, I'm going to make you wish you had. I'm going to tell everybody what you are." I started to walk to where people were working in the factory part. All right, he said. Here's your goddamn money. Just get the hell out of here. The people who had been standing in the back moved up closer to see what was going on. The man went to the register and counted out my money. I was dead tired and felt like a fool, but at the same time, I felt kind of good inside. I was still in the same boat, but I was $13 richer, and I had enough self-respect not to let any old lecherous white man fill up and down my body. So you see how, and that was commonplace in New York. Big Ma, what up, what up? That was commonplace in New York for women. I mean, commonplace. Women would get, especially our young women, would get assaulted at work on a regular basis. And you could just imagine what they had to go through during that time. You're talking about the 60s, 70s. Listen, women just started getting the right to apply for credit cards in 1973, I believe. Only way they were able to get credit cards if they were married and it was and their husband gave permission. So women always was going through that until certain people fought. Certain people fought in the courts. Yeah, 73. Listen, specific strides were just being made in the 80s. I mean, that's why it's still so much racial bias. That's why it's so much still police brutality. The institution of white slavery means white supremacy. Excuse me, got me saying white slavery. Yeah, because that's, basically a pimp and a hoe type exchange there where he was attempting to do. But the institutions of white supremacy miss no one. Man, woman, child. Especially our people and their people as well. It's white male dominance. White male dominance. That's what it is. So, sexual assault, assault in the workplace, that shit was common. Huh? Yeah, Floridian slip. Yeah, white slavery on my mind. Yeah. It's commonplace. Right? So about 1972, 73, that's when women were able to get credit cards without being married or without their husband having to sign off on it. My sister was born in 73. I was born in 69, so that's very recent, very recent. And these people still have these same prejudices. And the institutions still protect them. And that's just how it is until enough of the people are fed up enough to continuously do something about it on a daily basis. And what makes our book club so relevant, Let's continue. I had enough money altogether to rent a cheap hotel room. I got my suitcase and checked in a hotel. I think it was the Hotel Albert. After I had hung up my clothes and taken a shower, I decided to get something to eat. Downstairs in the lobby, there was a big, tall black woman dressed to kill. She had black hair with silver streaks running through it, long false eyelashes, and a lot of makeup. Long false eyelashes. So y'all see, this shit ain't nothing new. And you need to tell them people, especially those sisters that spend hundreds of dollars on fake eyelashes and batting eyes and the memes and all that, that you look like that puppet in Maud, you know, with them eyelashes and you know, people got this as like this is some new style. No, it's not. They've been doing that, you know. Some women, that's all they got. Eyelashes. I'm serious. You see some, they got on Uggs from 3 years ago, tights, a damn bonnet on their head, but their eyelashes is brand new, and that's all they got. They can't stop blinking. Just eyelashes, eyelashes. Like, the hell is that? I look over in the car sometime and other drivers, all I see is eyelash. You know? It's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. They think that's it. They fresh to death, though, with a pair of eyelashes, and that's it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, that's not a new style. Well, look at the baby, she said, looking straight at me. Please tell me how you wound up in this joint. Are you straight from Alabama, darling? Where are you going, honey? I just looked at her. Do you speak, darling? Can you talk? Where are you going, honey? I'm going out to eat, I said, a little worried. Where are you going to eat, love? I don't know. Well, come with me, honey. We can eat together. I'm having a starvation attack. I just stood there looking at her. Well, come on, love. You don't want me to die of malnutrition now, do you? Do you like Chinese food? Yes, I told her, wondering why she was taking all of this interest in me and wondering how she knew I was new at the hotel. We walked around until we came to a Chinese restaurant. The whole time she talked non-stop. Suddenly, I remembered how little money I had. I had intended to eat a hot dog or something. Look, I told her, I don't have enough money to go in there. This place looks expensive, and I'm kind of on the broke side. Maybe another time I'll come eat with you. Listen, love, she said, I didn't drag you all this way to eat alone. I hate to eat alone, and you're just stuck with my company. It looks like I'm going to have to treat your broke ass to dinner. I was extremely grateful. Miss Shirley, that's what she called herself, was one hell of a talker. She sounded sophisticated and country at the same time. She was from Georgia, but she had been in New York for a long time. She had lived in a village for a long time too, although she said she was a gypsy. I ordered something like chop suey, the cheapest thing on the menu. What you trying to do, honey, she said. Make me sit? Look, you sit there with your ears open and let me do the ordering. She ordered all this stuff. When it came, we feasted. There was so much that we could barely finish it. That's better, honey. Now, mother can join the living. The waiter came and asked if we wanted anything else. If I can't have you, Miss Shirley said with a wink, I'd like to check. The waiter, a tall, thin Chinese man, blushed and hurried away. This was one bold chick, I remember thinking. How long is your place rented for, Miss Shirley asked. Until tomorrow. What are you going to do after that? I'll find another job, I told her. Then I told her about my job at the cafeteria. She laughed her head off. Well, honey, she asked me, what in the hell are you running from? Or what in the hell are you running to? I told her the sad tale about my mother in the hospital. Do you actually expect me to believe that mess? I swore up and down that it was true. I ain't no fool, honey. And I've been out in these streets long enough to know that you running from something. And if you don't want to tell me, that's your business. But I like you, and I'll try to help you if I can. I was grateful, and I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything. Look, I've got this friend that works on Bleecker Street. He wants to take some time off to hang out with his friend, but he doesn't want to lose his job. You can work in his place until he comes back. Fine, I said. I was down for anything. Well, almost. We went to the cafe, and a skinny white dude came up to us. Sit down and rest yourselves. I'll be back in a minute. We sat down at a little round table. You want some espresso? The guy asked. Sure, Miss Shirley said. He brought 2 little cups of black stuff. I took one sip and thought I was going to choke. Miss Shirley cracked up. Well, I can see that you're not initiated. I'm going to have to do something about your education. I arranged to take the guy's job for 4 days, and he showed me what I had to do. If you forget anything or have any questions, ask the sailor, he said, pointing to the man with tattoos up and down his arms. I was to begin work the next afternoon at 4. I still didn't know how I was going to pay my rent for the hotel. Pay my rent at the hotel for the next few days because I wouldn't be paid for my work at the cafe until the guy came back from his vacation. I told Miss Shirley what I was thinking. I'll talk to Freddie, he said, and if he'll let my good friend have a little credit, and see if he'll let my good friend have a little credit. If not, you can come up to my place and sleep on the floor. We went back to the hotel and found Freddie. He didn't want to give me any credit. Miss Shirley kept haggling. How much money do you have? She asked me. $15. Well, give me 10 and I'll lend you the rest so you can rent a room for a week. I gave her the money and Freddie told me I had to move to another room, which was fine with me. The room was tiny, but at least it had a bathroom and I had somewhere to stay for the rest of the week. I was grateful as hell for Miss Shirley. Well, she told me, you get a good night's sleep. Mother has to go to work. Where do you work? Anywhere I have to, she said. Anywhere I can. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hmm? Man, no. This is a soda. This is soda. It's not no iceberg slim. Come on. Oh, hey, Colleen, what up? All right. Come on now. You know where she worked. You know where she, but that's what happens when you're young and you run away. No disrespect intended, but it sound like iceberg or it sound like something from Goins, right? Or Chester Hans, but nah, this is what Asada had to go through in order to become the revolutionary she became. A lot of us go through different things in our adolescence, in our way up, put ourselves in some crazy situations, you know? A lot of us. And some learn from it, others stay up in it. Some have such a traumatic experience they never come back from it. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Which is why parenting is so important. I'm telling you, you can only imagine what people go through, especially young women, when they out on them streets by themselves. Especially back then. Now it's just unheard of. You just can't even imagine it. right now. Somebody frying your ass in the trains, tracks, in the subway, something, all these pervs and different stuff that people are involved in, you know? And you might think it was even a little bit more dangerous back then because you just didn't have resource to reach out and get help. You know, I remember being on the deuce and seeing the Runaways. How about that? When we used to be in the game room on the deuce and see them, you know, them creepy old dudes talking to them young kids and them kids that was those runaways and shit. Used to hang in the arcade. Not the one that's on that was on the deuce on 42nd, 43rd. I'm talking about the one that was on 46th and 47th in Broadway around by Latin Quarter. And see them nasty ass old men from that Man Boy Love Association or NAMBLA, whatever that was, trying to pick up kids and runaways and all that shit. Yeah, that was crazy. And the only ones who navigated it was dudes from East New York, Brownsville, the Star. We coming through them. We ain't no runaways. You know, remember the runaways used to try to press us and shit. We used to have to knock them out right up in the game room. Boop, boop, drop them. Because they think, because we look their age and we got money that their life was any harder than ours because they was on the street and running away. And again, they probably was getting abused and have different traumas and shit going on, so they thought they was tough. We used to wear their asses out in that game room. Yes, yeah, BK turning it up. Boop, boop, boop. Dropping them. Remember I dropped this dude in that McDonald's right there on 47th from Broadway. Because that shit used to stay crowded. Stay crowded. Dude tried to act up, just dropped him right there by the register. Put him right out. And threw fries on him. Get the fuck up out of here. You know, we used to turn that shit up, but if you stay in that arcade long enough, you know, and yeah, and before, remember though, even before Pac-Man, when it's just pinball machines and shit, that shit used to be crowded. It used to be a lot of dirty old men up there. And that's when you start getting hip. You start seeing different things, listening to certain cons, seeing how people move. That shit, the whole 42nd Street was wow. It was weird. And that's when we started digging pockets and learning about them live sex shows that used to be on the deuce. Never forget how we stumbled on that. We following the chump, getting ready to dig him, but we didn't want to dig him right on the deuce because he was right on the deuce between Broadway and 8th. He walking. So we pacing behind him. We see the D's on the corner and all the way at the block. So we coming through. I'm following the chump. He cuts in because you didn't want to go into the movie theater with him. He cuts in and goes up these stairs. So I'm like, what? I'm on him. I go up the stairs with him, right behind him. As soon as he get to the top of the stairs, I dig him. Boom, get the pocket. Pull out. Oh. Had a couple of C-notes, little 20s and all that. Got him right on the steps. He starts screaming. Pushed him down the stairs. I turned around. It's another door. So instead of going down there where the chump was, I went in the door. I go in the door. It's a pool table with a bunch of euros around the pool table. Look on the pool table. It's a live sex show. They going in. I'm like, what the fuck? Then the bouncer came, big black, what you doing in here? You gotta pay if you want to stay in. I'm like, stay in? I'm not staying in this shit. So by the time I spent to the door, my man and them came up and says, oh, son, what is this? You got the bread? Yeah, I got the bread, but they looking at this shit too. Now we know that this is what's going on. This is right on the deuce. So now when you come downstairs, you go out, right here's the movie theater. Right there. Showing some family movie or some shit. I'm like, yo, this Deuce was bananas. Bananas. Salute, salute, Derek. What up, Lord? Sanders, what up? Yeah, the Deuce was karate movie, karate movie, karate movie. Whatever national movie is out. So it'll be karate movie, then say Eddie Murphy Raw. No, or Delirious. Then it'll be sex, triple X movie, Cross the Street, PG movie, or Star Wars, sex movie. Yeah, Cats. Yo, it was sex show. Then when you get to 8th Avenue, that's when you had the peep shows on 42nd and 8th, going to 43rd, and the little bars and shit. That shit was crazy. And we up there digging pockets, knocking chumps out. That shit was crazy. So, you know, you could just imagine what the Runaways had to go through. Why acid didn't hit the East Coast like the West Coast? Different lifestyle. Yeah, it's Taz Steakhouse. You greedy. You talk about Taz Steakhouse. Brownsville dudes want to eat wherever they Taz Steakhouse. Why you just say go get a gyro? You talk about Taz Steakhouse. Yo. Over here completely different now. They changed that whole shit up. They changed that whole entire shit up. So, you know, just imagine runaways, you know, and somebody who ran away from home end up becoming Asada Shakur. Because she could have ended up in any of that. She could have been, you know, someone hit her with a hot shot of heroin. She'd have been done right then and there. And that's how the people prey on people and kids and stuff, you know? They got a Netflix series about the Deuce. Yeah, I watched a couple episodes. That can't even begin to tell you the story about the Deuce. You know? Yeah, that shit was Runaway Central between that and Penn Station. Please. Crazy. Crazy. It was absolute madness on the Deuce. All day. All night. You dig? It was just crazy. So imagine that. Having to navigate that when you really square to the streets. You really square to certain type of hustle. She in Queens and being raised, you know, with parents and all that. It's different. Even us being from Brooklyn, even being from the East and being from Brownsville, we was really squared a lot of that shit unless somebody that we knew was really in the mix. We was squared a lot of that hustle shit, but we was just so tough that we already in hunter mode. So we was looking for somebody to prey on anyway, so we not gonna get caught up in it. You dig? You met Shock Jim, New Arcade or Ward? What? NA is about some dude who was catching bodies on the Deuce. Oh yeah? They got a show like that called NA? Or you talking about the Deuce? Cause I ain't see him catch no bodies. You said Lee suits and shell toes. Shit. Or gabardines and mock necks. Too far back. But yeah, it was crazy. So let's continue. Shall we? Let's continue. I was dog tired, and the bed was like an oasis. I woke up the next afternoon. It was almost 1 o'clock. I took a shower, got dressed, and went to find something to eat. Then I went back to the hotel and knocked on Miss Shirley's door. She opened the door with a razor in her hand. I almost fainted. She was shaving her face. Miss Shirley was a man. When she saw my reaction, she fell out laughing. You got to learn, sugar. You got a lot to learn. You got a lot to learn, sugar. You got a lot to learn. We both sat there laughing up a storm. Somehow, it was funny as hell. I went to work early that afternoon. The job wasn't bad, and I could eat all I wanted, which meant I didn't have to buy dinner. The tips weren't that much, but I'd be able to live on them until the guy came back. Any black woman, practically anywhere in America, can tell you about being approached, propositioned, and harassed by white men. Many consider all black women potential prostitutes. In the village, this phenomenon was 10 times worse than anywhere than elsewhere. It was almost impossible to go from one corner to the next without some white man hissing at you, following you, or jingling the money in his pocket. One morning in the park, I met a couple about my age from Harlem who had run away from home and were now living in a room in the village. I told them I had run I told them that I had run away too, and we became instant comrades. We got into a discussion about how white men are always approaching black women. Yeah, they giggled, but we got something for their ass. Yeah, I asked. Yeah, we fixed them right up. How, I asked. Then they told me the Murphy game was their game. They told me how it worked, and I fell out laughing. I thought it was a brilliant scheme. You want to try it? I know them old fays will dig you. I was anxious to try this new scheme because it was big money, and I would be able to pay Miss Shirley back and get a real place of my own. The first night after my job was over, I met Pat and Ronnie in the park. Pat and I were bright. Ronnie was the protection. We were all to walk separately on different sides of the street so that we could see each other. I had dressed up and put on makeup to look older. About 5 minutes after we started walking, a white man came up to me. He said he liked the way I walked and wanted to take me someplace. I'm on my way to a party, I told him. It's going to be a real hot party. Yeah? What kind of party is it going to be? What kind of party would you like it to be? A party for two, he said. I know a place where they've got some very nice private rooms and they're not too expensive. It's a private club. You've got to join first. How much does it cost? $15 for the room, $15 to join the club, and $15 for the babysitter. You don't look old enough to have a kid. The babysitters for my little sister. We argued about the price. He thought it was too high. I kept telling him how he was getting a deal and that once he joined, he would be a member for a year and could go there anytime he wanted and get some action. Finally, he agreed to pay. When we got to the building, I told him to give me the money so I could go upstairs and pay the people. By the way, I said, would you tell me what kind of work you do? These people are very particular about who joins their club. I work for a bank. I could see from his face he was lying. I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. I ran up the stairs and opened the door to the roof. Carefully, I closed it behind me. Then I went over about 10 roofs until I came to the one I was supposed to come down. I tried the door. It wouldn't budge. Somebody had locked it. I went to the next roof. Luckily, the door opened. I ran down the stairs and came out around the corner from where the man was standing. Hurriedly, I walked to where I was supposed to meet Pat and Ronnie. How'd it go, they asked. Easy as pie, I answered. Okay, let's do another one. I was scared to try another one because I was scared I would run into the man again. We could go around, we could we can go up around 14th Street. We've got another building staked out around there. Okay, I told him, but let's check it out first. I explained about the door that wouldn't open. We got to the new place, checked it out, then went to 14th Street. In a matter of 20 minutes, Pat and I each had caught a fish. I was worried to death we would bump into each other. I rushed my man into the building, got the money, and hurried to the meeting place. I waited and waited. It seemed like an eternity until they came. Pat had seen me with my man and had the good sense to go to a different building than the one I took my man to. We were all in high spirits. See how easy it is, Pat asked me. Yeah, it's a breeze. We split up the money. We each had made $45. I rushed back to the hotel. Miss Shirley was there, and we went up to her room for a drink. I felt like a millionaire. I had the money I had made working in the cafe, plus the $45. I whipped out my bankroll and paid Miss Shirley back. Now, girl, I know you ain't got no rich uncle. How'd you get all that money? I told her everything. I thought I was so slick. Girl, is you crazy? Do you know what one of these men will do to you if they find you in the street? Girl, these people out here in the street don't give a damn about you. This street will eat your ass alive. Honey, I know what I'm talking about. You done run away, ain't you? Yeah, I told her. I ran away. I knew it all the time. Well, honey, I can't make you go home. If I tried, you'd only run away again. But you're wasting your time and your life out here. These people don't care nothing about you. All they want to do is suck your blood. You're a smart girl. What you need to do is go home and finish school. I'm never going home. Well, if you insist on staying out here in these streets, you better start acting like you got some sense. Don't you ever let nobody use you and make a fool out of you. What if one of those men had been a crazy man and followed you upstairs? What if the other door had been locked and you hadn't been able to get out? Where was your so-called protection? You mean to tell me that you're going to risk your life for $15? Girl, this village ain't nothing to play around with. They got some crazy men around here that is killing up young girls like you, and one of them cuts their titties off. Girl, as far as I can see, that young boy Ronnie don't want to be nothing but a pimp. He ain't done one thing to earn that money. You better start to use your head. I could see Miss Shirley knew what she was talking about. But what am I going to do, Miss Shirley? You know how hard it is to find a job. Don't worry, honey. I'll come up with something. The next day, I went down to the lobby. Freddie was behind the desk. I hear you looking for a job, he said. Uh-huh. You know anything about being a barmaid? No, I told him. Well, you go over to this place, Tony's, on 3rd Street, and ask for a guy named Chuck. Tell him I sent you. Thanks a lot. I went over to Tony's and talked to Chuck. Do you have any openings? I asked him. Sure. We always have openings for foxes like you, he laughed. Do you know the setup? No, $15 a night, and you get a quarter for each drink and $1 for each bottle of champagne. I looked at him blankly. Your job is to sit and look pretty and keep the customers happy and buying. You work from 8 in the evening to 4 in the morning when the place closes. What you do after that is your business. Just don't make any deals on the premises. Yes, I answered warily. Well then, see you tonight. When I got back to the hotel, I told Miss Shirley about my new job. All right, honey, but you be real careful. There are a lot of crazy people around here, and you keep looking for a real job so you can go to school at night. Now come on upstairs and let me show you how to put your face on. You look like a 2-bit hoe. At 10 to 8, I was at Tony's. Chuck was there and introduced me to the barmaid. Her name was Joyce. Come here for a minute, honey, she told me and went to the end of the bar. I followed her. You like whiskey sours? I guess. I never had one. Whatever you do, don't get drunk. I'm going to make your drinks without the whiskey. If a customer come in and I know he's a suspicious type, I'll make you Y'all hear me? Salute, salute. Y'all still hear me? Okay, good. Yeah, good. All right. All right, let me continue. I'll make you a real one. If you want a drink with the whiskey in it, just order with your hands folded. There's not too much I can do about the champagne. I'll try to keep pouring it into the man's glass, but it's not too bad, and the bottles are small. Okay, thanks. I went to the bar and sat down. In a few minutes, a couple of white guys came in. They sat 2 seats down from me and kept looking in my direction. Would you like a drink? One said. Okay, I answered. What are you drinking? A whiskey sour. And so began what seemed like a never-ending parade of whiskeyless whiskey sours. It got so that even the smell of the stuff made me sick. Once in a while, I would ask the barmaid to put some whiskey in one, but I have never been much of a drinker. So, you can see our girl is going through it. Going through it. All right? And that's what happens. You dig? We're gonna pause right there when she says she's never been much of a drinker. Right? So you see what kind of thing is going on when you out. That's right. When you out in them streets, you have to navigate it. And there's not much a woman can do. As you can see, somebody always trying to get your grippers. So, you have to make sure, as men, as fathers, as facilitators of families, being leaders in our homes, that it's so comfortable and so loving that the women under your care can speak to you about anything. They trust you for leadership and direction, because you don't want to have them run away and be out in the world where they're not ready. You can't make the same mistakes that, our parents and elders made to run people away. Ever since that movie with Cardi B and J-Lo, I ain't been thirsty. Really? That movie was dumb. Oh, I hate that movie. I think because I hate J-Lo. I can't stand her. She is so overrated. If you don't believe in spooky and conspiracy and you know, and how Hollywood is ran, please explain J-Lo, because she had no talent. Somebody tapped on her shoulder. The village was creep central, yeah. And now there's no more village. The village is gone. Ain't no, people don't even understand what 9/11 did to that area. The villages are washed. That shit don't look nothing like the 8th Street, none of that. Those little boutiques, none of that shit is gone. Now it's in Williamsburg. All that is in Williamsburg, that lifestyle. And it's becoming creep central down there. But, that's where we're going to leave for Saturday Night Book Club. I don't think we're going to get outspoken tonight. I think your homie going to fall back. So I think I should go to start a little trouble on Instagram. You know, see if I get the Cash App pumping. Maybe I might open a clubhouse room. J-Lo gave up the grippers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they said they would give. She was wailing on the casting couches. I'll leave y'all with a cliffhanger. That's what she was doing. That's what she was doing. Who? Foxy. Foxy talking about you love hanging out there. Excuse me. You loved hanging out. Let me find out you was one of them village girls wearing boots and Laura Ingalls dresses and stuff. I remember them days. She shopping. Let me find. Yeah, E. Let me find a Foxy. I love hanging in the village. She buying all her underwear and stuff from Contempo and going in all them shops and stuff on 8th Street. And eating hot and eating at the papaya and shit, 50 cent francs. How was my B-day, Miguel? My B-day was fine. King, I fell back. It snowed on my birthday. Why y'all laughing? Don't laugh at her. She used to get her underwear. She know I'm telling the truth. She used to get her underwear, all her panties and bras at Contempo, because Contempo was one of the first retail spots that sold matching panty and bra sets. And it wasn't cheap, but it was that was a little fly shit. I know about Contempo. Yeah. And all them other shops and them little shops with all the boots and all that. Yeah, 8th Street. And then she used to go hunt her girls and shit. And they go into BBQs and shit and get them big ass glasses of ginger ale. She know I know what the hell I'm talking about. She know I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Oh, you ain't wear them Laura Ingalls dresses and boots. That wasn't your style. It was your style. Wearing them cut off shorts and them Harley Davidsons. Let me find out. Harley Davidson boots and the shorts and shit, shaking your hips and yeah, I know them village girls. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trust me, I know. I know. I know the city. Think I don't. I know the city well. And, you know, A lot has changed. A lot has changed, and I believe that's why people are mentally off, because there is limited ways to hustle outside of the system. Hey, Yvette, salute, salute. West Fourth Park. I didn't like that park, and yeah, that's the spot. But I had my ex used to work in the village. See, cut off shorts and Chucker Tims. Oh, you was a gangster. Yeah. Doc Martin boots and the platform shoes, right? I'm telling. Yes. Yeah, we got the New Yorkers in the spot tonight. And they know how the village girls used to rock. Yes. Yes. And shit. Yeah. I had an ex that used to work down there, and then try to go to Fuddruckers and shit. I ain't going to Christopher Street. You won't see my ass over there. Okay, all on, what's over on Christopher Street. You going to Fuddruckers and nah. You better have a bunch of dudes. You dig? I'm going over there. That's where the mother dudes is at, right? Or try to go to Caliente's. What was your spot back then? I didn't have a real spot back then. I was a stick up kid, so I was always looking for something to stick up. I didn't have like a spot. Yeah, them blisters was over there. I didn't have a spot. I would go to Caliente because a lot of people didn't know about it back then. They wouldn't eat there, because of Mexican. It was, I would eat, there. I would go to Harlem's. I would go to back then when the village was popping, like when we was really in it. Like you say 92, 93, 94. I was getting money, so I would be in Mr. Leo's in Midtown. If you knew about Mr. Leo's soul food spot, I would be in Mr. Leo's. I would go to the Shark Bar often. I didn't like Copeland's or uh what you call it Sylvia's, because I didn't think Sylvia's taste all that, and I used to hang out with her grandson. Her grandson is Lindsey Williams, who was the A&R for Public Enemy, Slick Rick, and AZ. So, I you know, I didn't like Sylvia's food. M&G's, oh hell no, Nay. M&G's porked the shit out of me. That's how, I know it's real that I can't, I was Muslim since, I was born Muslim, so I never had pork. And M&G's, I went to M&G's with one of my sister girlfriends one night, and I had ordered eggs and cheese and I think it was pancakes, but they put everything on the same grill, so it must have been pork bacon on the grill. Man, them eggs gave me a fit. So I never ate at M&G's again. My man actually wanted to shoot the spot up after that. No, I don't like Sylvia's. Who the hell likes Sylvia's? Don't have a taste at all. No. Sylvia's does not have a taste at all. At all. It's not good. When you talking about Sylvia's and then go to Mr. Leo's or the Shark Bar and taste that soul food compared to that. Yeah, You know? Hey, Latoya Logan. Yeah, you super late. You get a spanking. Go on over, Latoya Logan. Go to my Instagram page, DM, and tell me why you was late tonight. Cause I know you was late because you probably watching that All-Star game, the slam dunk contest and all that. Stop watching that and get over here for book club. Jimbo's Hamburgers. You used to be in Flatbush back then. No, I was in Flatbush in the 80s. Thank you, Nay. Sylvia's been nasty, I'm telling you. Yeah, Shark Bar was lit. That chef in the Shark Bar was lit. He was like one of the first ones to have a different seasoning on greens, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But I'm surprised y'all don't know about Mr. Leo's. I'm surprised y'all don't know about Mr. Leo's. Because his spot was in Midtown. He's an old time rich dude. And yeah, soul food spot, elegant spot too. You go in there, it was like a 5-star restaurant. Mr. Leo's was the bomb. And again, like I said, I don't like Sylvia's Copeland's. I don't like that. What else was I? Well, of course, we used to go to Willie's when I used to eat red meat, Willie burgers and stuff. Used to ride with her all the way to Utica train station. And what, turn around? Mr. Child's was expensive. I never went to Mr. Child's. I went past them. Who, and Emily's. I used to go to Emily's a lot too. See, I go to spots. People don't know about them spots, man. Emily's, right off of Madison, the 110th. All right, tell me about Flatbush in the 80s. Ain't nothing to tell. Flatbush in the 80s is something that you don't speak about because a whole lot of indictments is still running around. I don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Oh, you walked into a brownstone? She lived. Ain't no brownstones on Utica. Those are all the brownstones in the sky. You walked into a building. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You walked into a building. I'm trying to see if any brownstones on Utica. Nah. Mr. Childs is everything. Chicken, sauteed peanut sauce. It's a few E's. Are those real brownstones? They true brownstones? Latoya said, I'm from Lenox Road and Nostrand. You ain't see me over there, girl. Don't even start that. Lenox Road and Nostrand. No, you ain't from Lenox Road and Nostrand. If you late coming here, no, the hell you ain't. Well, oh, he's on St. Mark's. Okay. Near 210. All right. Flatbush and Caton. Yeah, you deep in the bush. Flatbush and Caton. All right. That's, mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Letitia said yes. I'm trying to read the audience. Nah. I know my family. I know these are my comrades. St. Mark's is dope. Ah, we'll see. All right, go to my IG and DM me. We'll see. You ain't see me over there. I'm telling you, I was so smooth, man. You ain't see. First of all, I was bald. So if you don't know me from my bald era, nah. And who was on Flatbush and Caton? I don't know about Flatbush and Caton. I know Ocean, on that Ocean side. That's where my man Miguel and them was at over there. I went to Sylvia's once, and I went for the culture. Sylvia's was nasty. Yo. So look, I'm out. I'm going to IG. So I'm glad that y'all came here. Damn, Prem, you mad late. I know you was watching the All-Star game. You just getting here. Yeah, Miguel got killed. Yeah, they killed my son, man. That hurt me too. They killed my son. He ain't deserved that. Is that the detention room over there on IG? It's gonna be whatever y'all make. It's gonna be detention. It's gonna be whooping. It's gonna be whatever. So, Nay, you knew my dude, Nay? Yeah, they did Miguel dirty. They did him dirty. He ain't deserve that at all. At all. You know? But yeah, we gonna go over to IG if y'all willing. Oh, you used to model for him? Okay. Okay, so I did. I had to run into you a couple of times. I used to model for Miguel. What Miguel? Miguel Navarro. It's the only Miguel that we could be speaking of. We from BK. You took your ex of Sylvia's, thought you were doing something back then. You was. That was a spot. But just the food wasn't all that. Not the me. I had a different taste, man. My family is from South Carolina, so they got them cooking hands. I know how season is supposed to taste. And food is supposed to taste. What's the IG? Bliz155. Same as the Cash App, and that Cash App ain't hit tonight at all. Was really good. I'm alive. Nah, Miguel. Nah, you the wrong Miguel, baby. Yeah, it's Ocean Ave, Parkside, Caton, Newark, the whole Flatbush. Listen, this ain't no Flatbush page now. Cut it out. Man, don't cut it out. Ain't no Flatbush page. It's East New York. Y'all started cutting up now. Y'all cutting up. Respect to all respect. But Flatbush wasn't the spot for a long time once they closed the rugby movie theater. You know what I'm talking about. Closed rugby. Try to keep Kenmore open for a little bit, then they closed that. Come on now. Cut it out. Cut it out. Don't start that. Huh? Don't start it. So y'all coming to IG or what? It's 78 of y'all in here. 98 likes. Y'all coming to IG? If y'all coming, come on. Kenmore was it? Yeah, but Kenmore was a trap off. You know that now. If you not writing Ken, you better have a knuckle game in Kenmore. Boy, you better. Boy, yeah, it was a movie for real, for real. For real, for real. You better have a knuckle game in Kenmore, Jack. Tonya, salute, salute. Yeah, Kenmore? Shh. You will get beat up. Beat up. For real, for real. Your other alias. Why you got all these aliases? Who you hiding from? Yeah, I got to talk to you because you hiding and shit. Yeah, Kenmore was a terror dome. Hey, Donella, what up? What up? Donella Marie. What up? What up? Yeah, the movie theater. Rugby was no joke neither back in the days. You get beat up for your little Clark Wallabies and little British Walkers, man, trying to come through rugby looking fresh on. I'm not rugby looking fresh on Easter. Got your little Easter gear on, trying to go to the movies. Yo, we're going to rugby. Get your little jaw tapped. Try to see a movie. Come on, man. BK was rough. Oh, it was rough in them days. Oh my goodness, it was rough. I'll get all cleaned up, Kelly. You get cleaned up and get scraped up too. You coming home Speed knots and all type of shit. The slam dunk was trash. See, that's why I came and get y'all, discipline. Come and get y'all book club. You know? Come on, y'all. We going to IG. Let's go. Because too many people over there coming like, look at T. Salute T. Close it out, T. We out of here. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Next week, not the same time, but we're going to have a Saturday night book club next week. We're going to get back into Asada. We're going to get back into it. Do what we do. Love on each other. Educate each other. Keep each other solid. Let's go to IG. Start some trouble. All right? Harvest, salute. Nick, salute. We on. We going to IG. We get ready to act up. It's party time. Salute.